So, a very good afternoon to all of you. So, in today's lecture, we will try to understand the relationship between the magnitude and the phase spectra, or I can say that the response, how the magnitude will look like, how the phase will look like. So, I would like to shed some light initially. Basically, for a system, the magnitude and the phase response are decided. Okay, that if you are getting the output, okay, if you are getting the output may be in the form of complex. It may be in the form of a complex signal. That is it will have magnitude as well as angle. So let's consider this. Okay, now one more thing that I would clearly want to state is that why the explanation of magnitude and phase response is important. This question often comes into our mind, that why it is important. So the answer is very simple and very easy to understand, because it is important because of two things. The first thing is that the first and foremost thing is that it will help us to understand the transfer function better. What will be the transfer function? Okay, how the transfer function is going to behave, what will be its response. These all things will become clear only by understanding the magnitude and the phase response. Okay. Second thing, a very important thing, is that the effect of poles. Yes, the effect of addition of poles or zeros will be better understood when we are quite aware with the magnitude and the phase response. Now consider the signal sine omega naught t. Okay, if we want to express its Fourier coefficients, then we can straight away write it as 1 upon 2j e to the power e j omega naught t minus 1 upon 2j e to the power minus j omega naught t. It is very easy. Okay, or we can say the sine of omega naught t is nothing but linear combination of these two signals. Okay, now have a look at this. If we are looking at a1 equals to 2j, okay, if we are looking at a1, that is the coefficient of omega naught t, then it is coming out to be 1 upon 2j. If we are looking at a to the power minus 1, that is the coefficient of minus 1, it is coming out to be minus 1 upon 2j. Okay, so we can say that for rest of the part, the Fourier coefficient is 0. That is, ak will be 0 for next all the k's, but for k equals to 1 minus 1, it is not so. Now this is the magnitude. The magnitude is 1 upon 2 and again minus 1 upon 2. Now can you tell me what will be the angle? Now have a look at this. If we look clearly, lesson a1 equals to 1 upon 2j and a of minus 1 equals to minus 1 upon 2j, we can clearly see that this is the angle. 1 upon 2 is the amplitude and minus j is the angle. Okay, so the angle is minus pi by 2. In case of a minus 1, the amplitude is minus half and the angle is again minus pi by 2. Yes, because j gives you pi and minus j will give you minus pi. Or we can plug that minus with minus of j, so it will become j. So now the amplitude for both a1 and minus a of minus 1 will become half and the angles will change. The phase response will be different. The phase spectra will be different. Okay, it is shown for the next. Yeah, this is what it will look like. I will try to show you this once again by dealing with one more example. Have a look at this. Xt equals to 1 plus sine omega naught t plus 2 cos of omega naught t plus cos of 2 omega naught t plus pi by 4. The omega naught t is the fundamental frequency. So we can straight away say that in x of t, a fundamental component is present, that is this. Again a shifted fundamental is present. Omega naught t is nothing but fundamental, okay, and it is shifted by pi by 2. So this is 2 sine of omega naught t minus 2 sine of pi by 2 minus omega naught t. That's it. I think I am quite clear with this part. Now, what is this? Cos 2 of omega naught t plus pi by 4. It is nothing but second harmonic. Omega naught t multiplied by 2. So it is second harmonic of omega naught t advanced by an angle of pi by 4. Is it clear? Leading by angle of pi by 4. Okay. And this is cosine. Okay, now 1 is the average value. 1 is the average value. Okay, now the expansion is quite clear. What we will do is that we will expand all the sinusoidal and cosinusoidal function. So we have to very well look at the expansion of these functions. This is 1 by 2j e to the power j omega naught t minus e to the power. This should be minus, I think this is a printing mistake, minus j omega naught t. For the cos it should be e to the power j omega naught t plus e to the power j omega naught t, okay, with a minus sign. Obviously this minus is not being shown here, and this 1 by 2j is common for both of this. Is it clear? No, this 1 by 2j is for this. Here it should be j only, because 2 and 2 get cancelled out. Have a look at this. This is half e to the power j 2 omega naught t plus pi by 4, exactly correct, plus e j to the power 2 omega naught t plus pi by 4. This is basically the expansion. Now we have to collect the terms. So collecting, how the terms will be collected? We'll simply take the coefficient of e to the power j omega naught t together, e to the power minus j omega naught t again together, e to the power 2 j omega naught t again together, and e to the power minus j2 omega naught t together. So the coefficient of omega naught is 1 here. Yes. So this is corresponding to k equals to 1. So the coefficient is 1 plus 1 by 2j. A naught is 1 here. In this part, the coefficient is minus 1. So a of minus 1 is 1 minus 1 by 2j. Again e to the power j2 omega naught t, half. Now this is what? This is the coefficient. This is the coefficient, and this is k equals to 2. Similarly, this is the coefficient. Now e to the power j pi by 4. What will be its value? It will be nothing but cos of pi by 4 plus j sine of pi by 4, obviously multiplied by half. So it will give you under root 2 by 4 into 1 plus j. Now if we have to look at the argument, phi will be, this is minus of half j. So this is in the fourth quadrant. This should be minus tan inverse of theta. Okay. Now have a look at this. So this is again the phase spectra. We can very well see this is coming out to be something like this. For different values of k, we are getting these values. Okay, and we can well see that for k equals to 3 and onwards it is going to be 0. This is the phase spectra, this is the magnitude spectra, this is the plots, and this is how the spectrum will look like. Hopefully this thing is quite clear to all of you. I will meet you and see you in the next lecture. Thank you and have a good day.